What if the fastest human on Earth wasn't in the Olympics, but in middle school? Imagine a 13-year-old with sprint times so wild, even grown athletes are double-checking the stopwatch. This isn't a movie plot. It's the real story of Rudolph Blaze Ingram, a Florida kid whose lightning speed made him an internet sensation before he hit puberty. His nickname? Blaze. And once you see him run, you'll understand why. He doesn't just move, he explodes. At just 7 years old, Blaze was already turning heads. One video of him sprinting the 100-meter dash in what was widely reported as 13.48 seconds went viral, sparking a mix of awe and skepticism online. Some questioned whether the race was actually 100 meters. Later sources clarified it may have been closer to 85 meters, but the footage was undeniable. The kid had ridiculous speed. His 60-meter time of 8.69 seconds was official, and even that turned heads in the track community. What mattered more than the exact distance was the raw potential. Blaze was quick, smooth, and fearless. Growing up in Tampa, Florida, Blaze was coached by someone who believed in him from the start. His father, Rudolph Ingram Sr. His dad wasn't just a cheerleader on the sidelines, he was in the trenches, shaping Blaze's routines, guiding his development, and posting videos that helped catapult his son into the national spotlight. The father and son bond was built around discipline, goals, and a drive to be great. They trained like professionals, even when Blaze was still in elementary school. It wasn't just about speed, it was about building a mentality. By the time Blaze was 10, his name wasn't just circulating among parents and coaches. It had reached college recruiters. He received attention from multiple programs, with unofficial offers floating in from schools like Florida A and M and Delaware State. But the jaw-drop moment came when Sacramento State, a Division I program, offered Blaze a football scholarship before he even turned 13. ABC 10 in Sacramento confirmed the offer, and social media exploded once again. A middle schooler getting a Division I offer? That wasn't just rare, it was historic. While it's important to note that verbal offers at that age aren't binding, it still spoke volumes about the level of hype surrounding Blaze's future.
And, a sneaky team that I threw in there that maybe isn't on everyone's radar. They kind of are. They got Wemby.
But speed wasn't the only thing fueling the fire. Blaze was making waves on the football field too. His agility, vision, and insane breakaway speed made him a nightmare for opposing teams. Highlight reels showed him juking defenders, changing direction effortlessly, and accelerating like he had boosters strapped to his cleats. Some said he reminded them of Reggie Bush in his youth. He wasn't just a sprinter dabbling in football. He was a real dual-sport threat. Track gave him the base, but football gave him swagger. With fame came followers. Blaze's Instagram page, managed by his father, crossed 700,000 followers. He got featured on ESPN, CBS Sports, and countless YouTube channels. Some branded him the next Usain Bolt. Others called him the future of American football. His fan base wasn't just watching. They were invested. Every race and every touchdown brought new eyes. Blaze had become more than an athlete. He was a brand. Kids idolized him. Parents showed their children his videos. He was becoming the face of youth sports. But fame isn't always smooth. Not everyone was convinced that Blaze would maintain his edge. On Reddit and in comment sections, skeptics pointed out that many prodigies fade. Some questioned whether he was being pushed too hard too early. Others scrutinized his times, especially the viral 100-meter dash, suggesting it may have been closer to 85 meters. And they weren't entirely wrong. Many youth races use varied distances and the official timing systems can vary. Still, Blaze's speed was real. The question was, could he sustain it as competition caught up? The truth is, the world of youth athletics is full of stories of early stars who peak too soon. Bodies change, motivation shifts, and sometimes injuries derail even the most promising careers. What separates the great from the forgotten is consistency, support, and evolution. Blaze seemed to understand that. He wasn't relying on old clips or past glory. He kept training, kept racing, and kept improving. Even as peers started closing the gap, he showed up with the same hunger. At 13, Blaze is no longer the tiny kid flying past slower runners. He's in the mix with older, stronger competitors. The spotlight is still on him, but the expectations have shifted. He's not just being watched for his speed now. People want to see growth, discipline, and decision-making. And so far, he's handling the pressure with surprising maturity. Whether it's training in the Florida heat, Balancing school with practice or navigating fame, Blaze is keeping his focus. What's next for Blaze? That's the question everyone's asking. More college offers are likely, especially if he continues his dual threat dominance. Track clubs and football scouts alike are tracking his every move. But the next few years will be crucial. This is the phase where many youth stars either elevate or stall. Blaze has the tools, the support system, and the exposure. What he needs now is sustainability, physically and mentally. There's also the question of which path he'll choose, track or football, or can he really do both at the highest level? Some say his straight-line speed makes him a natural for Olympic sprints. Others argue his agility and instincts make him a perfect fit for Division I football. But making it in one sport is hard enough. Doing both would take extraordinary commitment. If anyone can pull it off, though, it might be Blaze. Still, there's a bigger lesson in his story. Blaze's rise isn't just about speed, it's about belief. It's about a father who saw potential and helped his son unlock it. It's about a kid who, despite the pressure and the noise, kept showing up. Blaze represents the dream of what's possible when raw talent meets work ethic and opportunity. As we watch Blaze's journey unfold, there's no telling exactly where it will lead. But one thing is clear, he's already inspired a generation. Whether he becomes the next Bolt, the next Tyreek Hill, or carves a completely new path, Blaze Ingram has already made his mark. The world noticed him at 7. Now, at 13, we're all still watching. The road ahead won't be easy, but Blaze doesn't seem interested in easy. He's chasing something bigger, and he's doing it at full speed. So the real question isn't whether he'll make it. The real question is, who's going to catch him? If you found Blaze's story as jaw-dropping as we did, hit that like button, drop a comment with your favorite moment, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this one. And who knows? You might just see Blaze breaking records again in our next video.
We were contemplating 3 track meets before U.S. Championships. It was Eugene, Monaco, and London. We already had London on the books, so we had to say, hey, we got to choose one. And my coach said he doesn't want me running 3 races in a row or 3 weeks in a row. So I decided to choose Monaco, and we'll just hit Monaco and London right back to each other.
Yeah. The 200 meters looked impossible. Noah Lyles hadn't raced in 3 months. Injured ankle. 0 speed work against the Olympic champion who embarrassed him in Paris. Then the gun fired. What happened next? Nobody saw it coming, not even Tebogo. This wasn't just a race. This was revenge served at 200 meters per second. July 11th, 2025, Monaco Diamond League. The world's fastest men line up, but all eyes on 2 runners. Lane 6, Lyles Tebogo, Olympic 200-meter champion, undefeated this year, running 19-second races like morning jogs. Lane 7, Noah Lyles. Haven't seen him since April. Ankle problems, rust everywhere. Last time these two met, Paris Olympics. Tebogo destroyed him. Everyone knew who would win. The bookies, the experts, the fans, they were all wrong. What Noah Lyles did in 19.88 seconds changed everything. First, understand the beef. Paris 2024 Olympics, the 200-meter final everyone waited for. Noah Lyles came in as favorite, 3-time world champion, American superstar, trash talker supreme. He owned this event. Lyles Tebogo, the quiet assassin from Botswana, no Instagram flexing, no big mouth, just speed. Race day comes. Lyles talks big, Tebogo stays silent, the gun fires, and Tebogo runs the race of his life. 19.46 seconds. African record. Olympic gold. Lyles, 3rd place. Shocked? Broken. Later reveals he had COVID during the race, but excuses don't erase losses. Tebogo becomes the story. First African to win Olympic 200-meter gold. The man who silenced Noah Lyles, the new king of speed. For 11 months, that loss ate at Lyles. Every interview, someone asks about Tebogo. Every race preview mentions Paris. The defeat follows him like a shadow. Then, the injuries start. Ankle problems in April. Misses race after race. Prefontaine Classic? Not there. New York Grand Prix? Watching from home. Meanwhile, Tebogo keeps winning. 19.87 in Doha. 19.71 inches in Rome. making it look easy. The gap seems to grow wider. Monaco announces the matchup, Lyles versus Tebogo, the rematch. But nobody gives Lyles a chance. 3 months off against the hottest sprinter alive, please. One reporter asked Tebogo about Lyles before Monaco. His response, I respect all competitors. Translation, I'm not worried. A big mistake. 2047 local time. The stadium packed. 15,000 fans on their feet, millions watching worldwide. The camera pans across the field, 8 lanes of speed. But everyone knows this is a two-man show. Tebogo in lane 6, relaxed, confident. Why wouldn't he be? Fresh off another sub-20 run, in the shape of his life. Lyles in lane 7, right next to his rival. The placement is perfect. They can see each other, feel each other. No hiding tonight. Set! The stadium goes quiet. Hearts stop. This is it. Bang! Both explode from the blocks. Tebogo's start is lightning. Classic Tebogo, fastest starter in the world. He's ahead by a meter already. But wait, Lyles isn't falling back. He's matching stride for stride. Where's the rust? Where's the injury? They hit the curve. Tebogo is still leading. His form is perfect, smooth as silk. This is his territory. Nobody runs curves like Tebogo. 60 meters, 80 meters, Tebogo maintains his edge. The crowd expects him to pull away. He always pulls away. But Lyles is still there. Not just there, he's gaining. Impossible. You don't gain on Tebogo in the curve. That's not how this works. They hit the straight. 100 meters to go. Side by side. The crowd erupts. This isn't supposed to happen. Now comes Lyles' territory, the home straight, where legends are made, where he's never been beaten when healthy. 120 meters, dead even. You can't separate them. 140 meters. Lyles edges ahead. Just inches. But in sprinting, inches are miles. 160 meters. The gap grows. Tebogo's face changes. Confusion, panic. He's giving everything. It's not enough. 180 meters. Lyles is flying, not running. Flying. 3 months off? What 3 months? Final 20 meters. Lyles pulls clear. The crowd loses their minds. Tebogo desperately lunges. Too late. Lyles hits the line. Arms spread. Screaming. 19.88 seconds. Tebogo stumbles across. 19.97. Defeated. Stunned. How? The stadium scoreboard tells the story. Noah Lyles, USA. 19.88. Letziel Tebogo, Bot. 19.97. Makanakaisha Karamba, Ziem. 19.99. Lyles collapses on the track. Not from exhaustion, from emotion. Vindication tastes sweeter than any medal. Tebogo stands hands on hips, staring at the scoreboard, rewinding the race in his mind. Where did it go wrong? The numbers are staggering. Lyles just ran 19.88 after 3 months off, his fastest time since 2022, against a headwind, with no races for sharpness. But it's not about the time, it's about the statement. Post-race, Lyles keeps it real. It was a great race. I'm really glad to be healthy. This shows I'm still in the game. Then he drops the truth. I put myself in the fire for that one coming back against Tebogo. But I didn't feel any pressure. I don't see any reason to put pressure on myself. That's what we love to do. No pressure. After months off, against the Olympic champion, classic Lyles confidence. Tebogo's response, honest but hurting. I'm disappointed in my performance, but now I have an idea of what to work on. Disappointed? That word says everything. The 22-year-old expected to dominate. Instead, he got dominated. The rivalry just hit another level. Tebogo knows he needs to improve. Lyles knows he's back. Tokyo can't come fast enough. This wasn't just a race. This was a message. Message 1. Never count out Noah Lyles. Injured, rusty, doesn't matter. When it counts, he delivers. Message 2. The 200-meter crown is up for grabs. Olympic gold doesn't make Tebogo untouchable. Message 3. Tokyo World Championships just became must-see TV. Both want blood. This finally breaks the internet. For Lyles, season transformed. Doubt gone. Speed back. Confidence exploding. Already announced for London 100 meters next week. For Tebogo, wake-up call. Been cruising all season. Too comfortable. Now he knows. Healthy Lyles is a different beast. The sprint world just exploded. American Flash versus African Power. Loud versus quiet. Showman versus assassin. How did Lyles win? The splits tell everything. Lyles, 0 to 100 meters, 10.85, even. 100 to 150 meters, 4.51, takes lead. 150 to 200 meters, 4.52, pulls away. Tebogo, started faster. 100 to 150 meters, 4.58, loses ground. 150 to 200 meters, 4.61, fades. The key? Lyles is 4.51 from 100 to 150 meters, pure speed when it mattered most. Biomechanics reveal more. Lyles' stride length increased 3% in the final 50 meters. That's not normal, that's floating. His ankle? Perfect. Form? Flawless. Speed endurance? Never left. Two options. Lyles has superhuman recovery, or he played everyone. Let Tebogo get comfortable, then struck. If true, genius mind games. Sprint calendar now must watch. London Diamond League, July 19th. Lyles confirmed for 100 meters. Tebogo, USA Championships, July 31st. Lyles needs top 3. Done deal. World Championships, Tokyo, September. The decider, winner takes all. This rivalry saves sprinting. Different styles, different personalities, same hunger. Every race now matters more. For Lyles, redemption secured. World record, 19.19, looks possible. For Tebogo, motivation found. Already planning revenge. The sprint game just got real. Noah Lyles just did the impossible. 3 months off. Injury questions. Against the Olympic champion who owned him. 19.88 seconds later, statement delivered. Crown reclaimed. Rivalry ignited. This wasn't about times or titles. This was about pride, about proving doubters wrong, about showing why Noah Lyles is still Noah Lyles. Tebogo learned something in Monaco. The throne has multiple claimants. The sprint game just got real. What happens when they meet again? Will Tebogo adjust? Can Lyles go faster? Who breaks first? Drop your prediction below. Lyles or Tebogo for world champion. Subscribe to Athletes Lounge, where legends clash and records fall. This is just the beginning. Game on. These races started normal until everything went wrong. Bodies collapsed, dreams shattered. And what happened next? No one was ready for. Starting off with what seemed like a routine stumble that would spiral into something far more devastating. Michelle Janicki. Michelle Janicki stepped onto the track at her first Paris Olympics appearance. The popular Australian hurdler performed her trademark jiggle dance. The crowd knew what was coming. She started the 100-meter hurdles heat with power, pushing near the lead after clearing 2 hurdles. Then, disaster struck at the 3rd hurdle. Her back leg caught the barrier. She fell hard to the ground. The Eurosport commentator's voice cut through the stadium. "Oh my word, how hard did she hit the track?" The 31-year-old picked herself up. She had to finish the race. The repechage round depended on it. Those who didn't qualify for the semifinals needed that second chance. Janicki felt something pop below her knee before the massive tumble. Her Olympic dream now hung on conversations with Australian medical staff. "I'm all right, actually," Janicki said after the race. "I actually feel like I'm in great shape. I got out really well. I'm really proud of that." And then, I think it was the 3rd hurdle, I just felt something popping in my lead leg, down towards my knee. So I just lost all power, and that's why I took a tumble. She continued with determination. But I just really wanted to make sure that I got up and I finished. First of all, it's the Olympic Games, and I want to be doing that. And second of all, I thought there was still a chance that I might be able to do repechage tomorrow. The frustration was evident. Janicki had expected to run a personal best that day. The last couple of days brought minor soreness, but nothing concerning, just routine tightness that athletes manage regularly. I thought I was going to come out today and run a PB, so honestly a little disappointed, but spirits are still high because I know that there's a good run in there, so we just gotta see what we got. Fellow Australians Celeste Mucci and Liz Clay also needed the repechage round after finishing 7th and 4th in their respective heats. But what comes next gets even worse.